Now shifting our focus, in breaking news, US Ambassador to India has said that President Trump spoke with Prime Minister Modi this morning as on 12th December, and he has stated, and I quote, "It was a great call between two friends." Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterated his support for the president's effort to bring peace to Ukraine, unquote. Now joining me on the telecast is my colleague Brian Thomas. Brian, now what we are seeing is that PM Modi and Donald Trump have had a conversation, and they've also talked about the Russia-Ukraine war as well. So Brian, take us through the details that are coming in.
Well, yes, clearly as of now, the president had a telephonic conversation with the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, and the two sides discussed their friendship. Not only that, they spoke about the Russia-Ukraine conflict that has been going on. And just a while back, even the president, he has spoken about his frustration to end that war itself and said that the meeting, he is tired with meetings and he's frustrated over the constant meetings. And not only that, the two leaders also reaffirmed their commitment to a shared unity between the two nations, between the two countries itself, and said about how to strengthen the bilateral ties between the two nations. And it was what it said. It was a informative conversation. Not only that, how deepening the ties are between the two nations, what they discussed about, and clearly how to strengthen the two ties and how to become more efficient in building their both US and India ties. Yes.
All right, Brian, stay on with us. We have more news coming in. In more updates coming in the Russia-Ukraine war, US President Donald Trump has made another statement warning that the continuation of the Russia-Ukraine war can end up in Third World War, and Trump issued a stark warning that the prolonged Russia-Ukraine conflict risks escalating into a global conflict, as we learned earlier. After signing an executive order aimed at preventing a patchwork of state-level artificial intelligence regulation, Trump revealed that 25,000 people, mostly soldiers, were killed in the war last month alone, and expressed deep frustration over the continued bloodshed. Now joining me on the telecast is my colleague Aditya. Aditya, take us through the details that are coming in terms of this warning that has been issued by Donald Trump about the war, and also him talking about this leading up to and escalating into a Third World War. All right, so we'll get that sorted. My colleague is currently facing some connection issues, but when we are talking about the Russia-Ukraine war, President Trump has again made another statement warning that the continuation of the Russia-Ukraine war can end up in Third World War. He's also issued a stark warning and that the prolonged Russia-Ukraine conflict also risks escalating into a global conflict. We've earlier seen also Caroline Leavitt also talked about it and said that the President Trump is tired about talking about it and holding meetings, and he wants action now. So now back on the telecast is my colleague Aditya. Aditya, take us through the details that are coming in terms of Trump's warning related to this war between Russia and Ukraine, and also him talking about the fact that at least 25,000 people and soldiers were killed in the war in the last month.
Well, absolutely, Ria. You see, Donald Trump now has been very is taking a very serious approach, to end war between Russia and Ukraine. Recently, he has given a deadline to the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky that he needs to accept the peace plan and move forward with stopping the war. And definitely, recently also we saw how US President Donald Trump had held a meeting with his European counterparts, be it German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and French President Emmanuel Macron, and even the Europeans are serious about stopping this Russia-Ukraine war. However, there are several complications as far as this Russia-Ukraine war is concerned because as per some reports, there exists some mistrust between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin, and that is why this is becoming a major reason that why this war isn't being stopped, because Putin has his own conditions and Volodymyr Zelensky wants some conditions according to him. So indeed, it is making altogether a process very complicated. And now this war is continuing for about more than 4 years now, and it has claimed so many innocent lives. So indeed, it needs to be seen, how things unfold in this scenario and whether this Russia-Ukraine war can finally be stopped or not. Ria.
All right, Aditya, stay on with us.